Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you're watching this. I'm Alicia and welcome back to my channel. This is another day in the office. I don't know if you have been watching my shorts that I've been releasing, but because I did take a little hiatus from YouTube, I did want to give you all some content, and so I have been recording and uploading some YouTube shorts. So at the end of this video, if you haven't seen those, go ahead and watch those as well. But today I am back in the office because I am about to see a couple, and I've been seeing the wife for some time now, but I suggested in bringing in her husband so that we can kind of, unpack some certain things. And so today will be the first time that I actually see the couple. So I'm a little excited about that. I am over here. I came to the office a little early. I have like an hour, a little over an hour to before they come, but I have been like researching and working on stuff, or just getting my mind right on how I want to approach this first session, especially being the topics and stuff that we're going to talk about. And then I wanted to come to the office early because I did want to go over what I found again before they come, and then I'm going to use some of my extra free time to do some author stuff. So I decided, hey, let me just bring you guys out because it has been a while since I've been doing this, and I still want you all to know that I am still out here busy doing all the things. But now, because I am in practicum for my grad school, you'll probably see more of these type of videos. Leave a comment below if you are interested in my grad life, being a student intern for MFT, which is marriage and family therapy. If you are interested, by all means leave a comment below and I can start giving you more of that type of content. Of course, I'm not going to show you when I'm in the therapy session. I'm not going to tell you, the clients that I'm working with, but we can discuss some of the same issues and some of the presenting problems that I'm working with, because a lot of my clients are dealing with some of the same things. So I can definitely give you that aspect. In my shorts, I also showed you the office. I showed you just the office room, but if you want to see even the building, the location, like the main office, I guess you could say, we can do that as well. If you want to know my setup, all those jazz, by all means drop it in the comments below. I read the comments. I try to talk back to you all, so by all means let me know what you want to see, because again, I don't want to make these type of videos if you're not interested in them. I am going to give you my author life, my reading life, because I do like to read, and there is some books that I'm reading. I've been DNFing a lot of books lately, just FYI, but I am going to show you those type of videos as well. I do intend to go out more too, because I do have a good headspace on my schedule, and actually I am going to be dropping a video. I put it in this clip of an experience that me and some friends went to. We did a rage room, and then we also did like a paint splash room. So I'll drop that at the end of this video, so stay tuned. But right now I'm going to get back into preparing for this couple, and then also getting some author stuff done. So just finished with the couple. A lot of things we were able to hit, and I was able to get a visual snapshot of what's going on in the household. What is funny enough is that I had told this couple that we should do couples therapy prior, and husband was a little apprehensive, which is fine, because when anybody hear that I am a student intern, they kind of question like, okay, are we going to actually get the best help, and all these other things that comes up, which is understandable. But after our session, the husband made a mention of saying how he felt like, it was really great, and that they are basically wanting to do couples therapy now. Have wife still continue her individual therapy, but husband is on board. So it's always good when you hear things like that, especially being a student intern, because we aren't licensed, right? But all we have to go off of is our experience, our education, and then also, having people come, and this is how we get our experience as well, as far as having these couples or having these families or having these individuals that are dealing with the same thing. And so I'm excited to start working with these couples. I finished my notes, my progress notes for this client, and if you guys want to see how I do that, I can make up a client for you all just to be able to show you what it looks like. But I finished my notes, so now I'm about to head out. I'm about to go work out. I'm kind of hungry and a little tired, but I know I need to work out because I haven't been working out this week like I should. So the intention is to just go straight to the gym from here and then make it home and have the rest of my day. And like, it's still in the afternoon, or about to start the afternoon, so I still have the rest of the day to just do whatever. Today, I just got so lucky to just have this one client, which is the couple. But normally, like, my Saturdays are maybe 2 or 3 or 3 or 4 clients, because I get the most hours on the weekends. But I'm thankful that I just had this one. And so what I'm about to do is just really just now pack my stuff up and head out. So I am going to end it here. I thank you all for watching. Please, by all means, comment below, subscribe if you like what you're seeing. Watch my other channels. Watch my other videos. There's a lot, so you can just binge watch all that you want. Let me know if you rather see what you rather see. Would you want to see more author videos? Do you want to see more reading videos as me as a reader? Do you want to see more life videos as far as what I do in my city? Do you want to see even more school videos as me being or pursuing my master's in marriage and family therapy? Let me know down below so I know what to give you all and where I should put my most focus on when I do pick up this camera. All right, I'm going to quit yapping because I'm going to go. Have a good one. Until next time. Bye. One thing I love coming into the office early in the morning is because the room that I use has a ceiling to floor door, and so I'm able to just step out and get some fresh air. And I actually keep the door open for the fresh breeze, for us to be able to hear birds chirping if they want to, or whatever is going on outside. Sometimes that outside noise is helpful, especially if we're talking about some deep stuff, if we're unpacking a lot of deep trauma, or just talking about something that's uncomfortable. Having nature sounds is so great. And you have nature sounds through like a device, right? Or through a machine. But the real-time nature sounds kind of does a lot of work. And I noticed that the way that I have the clients sit, I have them sitting where the door is literally facing them. So I'm about to show that to you right now. So where they will be sitting at would be right here, and the door that I'm referring to is right here. And so they're able to just like really look outside and hear the birds chirping, look at the breeze, see what the weather is looking like. And this is our view as we're doing therapy. This is our view. And so you see the sky because it's early in the morning. Well, not really early in the morning. It's like 9:35. So that's that. But this is what 9:35 looks like here. And they have this open view that they're able to just sit right here while we're discussing. And where I'm sitting is actually right here. I allow them to see the view. I don't really have much of a view when I'm sitting. This is my view that I have, which is fine because my attention shouldn't be over here. It should be over here with the clients. And so I allow them to just come, and I allow them really to pick where they want to sit. Obviously my stuff is here, so they're not going to sit there, but there's this chair, there's this table over here with the chairs, and they always pick right here. And then as they're sitting, this is what they're looking at. And then we can just do therapy right here. And I have this sound machine. These are like the objects or the devices that I always bring every time. So I have this sound machine that I put outside the door, and it has different sounds. I'm going to turn it on for you. And then it just gives me water sounds, or if I want that. What else we have? Did I reach the end of the track? So this is what I'll just put outside the door so nobody can actually see or listen to what we're talking about, because I just turned that off because these walls are so thin. And we're gonna go outside in a minute, right? We're gonna go outside in a minute, but I just want to give you guys more of a detailed tour. But the sound machine is a must-have that I always bring, just to put outside the door so that I can keep confidentiality as much as possible. I always bring a box of tissue because you never know when somebody will need it. And then I bring this little gadget here that I have my phone on, but it's just a phone stand that I have so that I could just place my phone right there. And then I also bring, obviously, my iPad. I take notes digitally. I don't really write notes on a notepad or anything like that. I do everything digital, and so that's what that is for. And then because I bring my iPad and I do everything digitally, I must have my Apple Pencil. And then this is just my camera gear and my backpack that I put it in. This flower stays here, which is a nice little touch to the room, brings to the room. And that's all that you have. So now what I'm about to do is we're going to get into what the hallway looks like. So there might be some people in the other rooms, so let's go. So this is, and I hope you guys can hear me, but this is the hallway. So we have all these rooms that people just kind of rent out, and they use it for their own pleasure, whatever they need an office space for. But yeah, so like I said, I'm just whispering. Hopefully you're able to catch this because I don't know who's in the building. But this is like a maze. Like, it is so big in here. You wouldn't be able to tell on the outside, but it is big. So now I'm about to walk into the front. And that's where the office is. I know it's dark. I don't really like to do lights. I like natural lighting. But if you can see, there's a fridge. They have, you can sit here and eat your lunch, eat your dinner, depending on what time you come in. And then they also have this coffee machine. You gotta pay for it. But they have that available. And then they also have this little area, which I think is cute, with the pillows for the chairs. I think and then it brings some color. The colors really pop. And then you have these chairs, which I wish was in the office that I like, because these chairs are actually comfortable. Or I wish that we had like a couch, like right here, because that's really comfortable as well. And it would be nice to have, like, give the whole, feel, because an hour and a half, 2 hours of sitting in those chairs that's in the office is not necessarily ideal. After a while, you get uncomfortable and you find yourself adjusting. But here's a vending machine. And then some more places for this building. We have our own printer, which we have to just log in and it'll work. But yeah, this is the place. You can see how one can get lost if you've never been in here before. So now I'm about to take you all back to the room that I was in so that I can continue mentally preparing myself for what might come in each session. And I like to do that because as I prepare, obviously you can't really prepare too much because it's not like me controlling the sessions. Hold on. And I have a filter on, so that's why there's like even darker in person. So it probably would have showed up light, but because I have this indie filter on my camera, that's why there was more dark spots. But I'm gonna just sit outside and talk to you all for a minute. I think this is pretty good right here. I can't really prepare as much because obviously I'm not controlling the session, but I like to prepare in a way of, especially if it's a first time. So intake, which is basically like getting to know you, getting to know your background, how you were brought up, your childhood, how you make friends. When it comes to couples, like your past relationships, what worked, what didn't work, and seeing, basically what you're bringing into now this relationship or whatever. I'm seeing you as an individual, whatever your presenting problem is, like say it's anxiety, depression, grief, whatever the case is, getting a little background information, because you got to understand too that everybody is a stranger to me, right? And so I have to get to know you. I have to get to know how you're wired so that we can kind of work on why a certain thing is affecting you. You may think that, okay, I don't like to be in big crowds, but through therapy, you can process that, okay, every time, in school, maybe something traumatic happened to you, or whenever you're in a crowded area, you always feel like, something could pop off. Like PTSD is a real thing. You don't have to go to war and be in the military to experience PTSD. And so I like to kind of prepare as far as mentally the questions specifically that I'm going to ask. And so when it comes to this client, which is the couple, in general, like I said, I've already met with the wife, kind of have some information on what's going on in the household from the wife's perspective. And so being that this is going to be the first time that I see the husband, I want to kind of get to know him, right? I want to get to know his childhood, his upbringing, what was life like growing up, how did he identify with love? What is love to him? How does he know when he is loved? How does he show love? All these different things to kind of go along with who he is as an individual and how he shows up in his marriage, and then go from there as far as the presenting problem. And that's why therapy takes so long, in a sense of you can't just see a therapist for 3 weeks and think that your whole issues are solved, because if that was the case, then we all will be doing that, right? Like, that's not how therapy works. Therapy takes time, it takes building rapport, and it takes comfortability. Like, I'm seeing people who are grown-ups, right? I do have some minors, but essentially if I'm seeing a 32-year-old woman or a 32-year-old man, you have 32 years, 3 decades of your life that we're not going to be able to unpack in an hour. In an hour, therapy hour is not the typical 60-minute hour, right? Therapy hour can be 50 minutes, it can be 55 minutes. And so we're not going to be able to unpack all of your 3 decades or 4 decades, whatever age you are, in that short amount of time. So it has to build upon building, and as time goes on, and hopefully if I'm doing my job as making you feel comfortable, making you want to talk to me and share your deepest, darkest secrets, and share the things that you're not sharing with your spouse, or what you're not sharing with your best friend, or what you're not sharing with your family members, then in order for me to do that, I have to start off slow, and I have to get to know you as you are getting to know me as well, by feeling comfortable. And so what I mean as far as me preparing, I'm just really seeing what questions that I definitely want to hit, because I don't know, like I said, he's not really a person I see all the time, right? From our last session with the wife, I just suggested, hey, see if your husband is willing to come and join, right? I've been wanting to do couples therapy with them based off of the information that I'm getting from one side. And everybody doesn't approach therapy the same, right? So now that husband agreed that, okay, I'll come this time, I don't know if he's going to come again. And so I want to at least get some type of information that will be helpful, so that when I do see the wife individually, then I have a more better understanding of what's being presented. I think as too, I don't want to say that clients lie to us, but I just think that they omit certain things, or they feel like that's not important to talk about. So we, as therapists, them licensed therapists, but me as a student intern trying to become a therapist, it's important for me to know that as well, and to kind of know that I'm not getting the full picture. I'm not getting all the information. And so that's what the digging and the unpacking and allowing them to kind of, again, feel comfortable in sharing, because that's when I'm able to work with everything that I have, or the knowledge that I have when it comes to a certain individual. And so I pretty much did what I needed to do as far as the breakdown. And now I'm just really waiting until they tell me that they are here, because in this building as well, and also in the building in general, as far as this floor, the main office is automatically locked, so we have to kind of like buzz you in. But to get to the main building, they're able to come up there themselves. And like I said, I've seen the wife before, so she already knows like how to get here, all these things. So I don't really have to stay close to my phone as if like they're gonna talk to me or text me about like, oh, I'm lost. But they could text me and say, oh, I'm running late or something like that. So I am going to stay close to my phone. But what I'm going to do right now, there were some things that I needed to get done author-wise, as far as some admin stuff. And so I'll probably do that. I'm going to say a prayer. I always pray before my sessions, because I don't know what they're dealing with, you know what I mean? And I want to make sure that I'm spiritually aligned, to be able to receive what they're saying to me, and that I'm giving good sound counsel advice. And I don't know everything. I don't know this person in front of me, and I don't know, what the circumstances are. And so for me as a Christian, I do always pray before services, and I pray after services. I don't pray with the client, unless the client is like, hey, can you pray for me? I've never had that done yet. But privately, I will pray before the sessions, and then I will pray privately after the session, just to make sure that everything that was said resonates with them, stays with them, and they're able to apply it to their life. So I'm going to definitely do that. Give myself time. It is now approaching about 9:50, so I do have some time before they come. But I'm going to get out of here, because now I feel like I'm rambling. Y'all know I'm a yapper. That has not changed yet. And as a yapper, it's kind of like, how does that work when you're doing therapy, right? So I'm going to go.